Annyeong! Welcome to Dollightful. I hope you enjoyed a wonderful holiday season. I was hoping to get this video out before Christmas, but as with every project, it always takes longer than I plan. There was no Christmas doll for me this year because I was hard at work preparing more clothing patterns for the store. That's right, for the longest time there's just been a jacket pattern on there and it looks pretty lonely, so may I present 3 new dress patterns. Standard dress, asymmetrical dress, and steampunk Lolita. It wouldn't have been possible to get them up as fast as I did without my mom, who helped write and proof the patterns with me. It takes a lot of scrutiny, double-checking, and patience to bring the patterns up to a level where I'm comfortable selling them, and it wouldn't have been possible without her, so everyone give a huge thanks to Mom Lightful! You clicked this video to watch a doll tour, so we'll get to that shortly. I just wanted to announce the patterns and show you the fruits of my labor so you wouldn't think I'd been slacking off all December. On to the tour! Organizing the dolls for this video took some thought. I live in a city apartment, so we have to delegate shelf space and there's not much to go around. I own 3 cats now, so any shelf that isn't walled off by plexiglass or positioned high up on the wall is out of the question. Some of my dolls are also seasonal, so they get rotated in and out of boxes, and I'd say 1/3 of my custom dolls are usually packed away at any given time, just to free up shelf space. Some of my girls were modeling the latest patterns, so they're not in their original outfits. It's pretty chaotic, so let's take everyone into the workroom, shut out the cats, and take some group shots. Here we are, that's better. I'll be going somewhat chronologically, but mostly I'll be grouping them together in ways that make the most sense to me. Let's start with dolls from the past, ones I made before I started the YouTube channel. I discovered the hobby and made customs for about 2 years before becoming Dollightful. I sold most of my dolls from that time to break even with the materials cost, but I still have a handful, including my very first custom doll, which is this Abby Abominable. This was before I discovered Mr. Superclear, so I used a local sealant, and the years have not been kind to her. It might be fun to remake her as a Stockbox episode or something. She needs the TLC. I made Twyla at about the same time, but I repainted her and used MSC after I realized how bad the other stuff was. So this is her second face-up, but the design is the same. I love Twyla as a doll and a character in the animations, so this doll holds a special place in my heart. She could also use some hair care and a better outfit though. To be honest, all these earlier dolls need to be revisited. I had fun with this Claudine Wolf's face-up because gold paint is always fun to use. But she was nude for so many years. She finally got an outfit just this week thanks to the new patterns. Be honest, how many of you doll customizers out there have a box full of dolls that have nice face-ups, but they're all nude because you just haven't found the time to make their outfits yet? I feel like for most artists, the face-up is the most fun part, so you do that and then you're kinda done. This is Cherry. She might have been my first attempt to curl doll hair. It certainly looks like it. I love this doll because of the colors, of course. Doesn't Frankie Steen look great with pink hair? Ever After High Throne-coming Cupid had extra long hair, and I couldn't resist that waterfall of pink, so I remember buying her and giving her a new face. And of course, my self-portrait Mini-Me and my husband's Mini-Me dolls. Minnie Catherine was once a standard Draculaura doll, and my hubby is a Monster High Deuce Gorgon head stuck onto an Ever After High Dexter's body. I had to shave the neck down a little bit for it to fit, but he looks perfect now. This Fawn doll was basically an accident and a vessel for experimentation. I made my sister a Mini-Me for her birthday one year and used local doll hair from the craft store, and after days of rerouting, I poured the boiling water on top to style it, and kaboom! It got totally fried. This is why I often say to test your hair first. I had to rush order some hair and reroute a new Draculaura doll and finish it before my sister's birthday. But never one to give up on a project, I turned my failed sister doll attempt #1 into a different character. I discovered epoxy at this point. This was the first time I tried deer legs, and I've been saving this footage forever. At last I have a chance to show you. I used packing foam in the joints, hoping it would expand and stay stiff enough to pose, but it quickly lost its tautness. But an interesting first attempt. Every Halloween I see comments on my videos saying, when did she customize the black cat or the witch doll? I can't find the video. That's because I don't have a video, sorry. I believe it was October 2014. Monster High was at its height of popularity. My mom and I were out doll hunting at Target and Toys R Us and bam! Cast of Fierce! Man, those were such awesome times to be a doll fan. All the wonderful artists who worked for Monster High could do no wrong in my eyes. I also made a couple bigger dolls, a Calliope costume, who I always thought I could have done better on, and 2 Disney Animators Collector's dolls, Pocahontas and Mulan. I wanted Mulan to look like a chibi K-pop star or something. There are also all the dolls that I sold early on, so obviously I don't have them anymore. I won't go into detail because it would take too long, but we can have a quick look through some of the photos. Sometimes it was just a face-up, sometimes the whole character would get a makeover. The 4-armed doll was a commission of someone's original character, and I remember being pretty proud of the second set of articulated arms. I drilled a hole through the body, and they're held tightly to each other with an elastic band. That brings us to the start of the channel, so if you've been with me for a while, these should look familiar. These are the first couple of dolls to appear on Dollightful, including the very first custom doll on the channel, Ever After High Heartstruck Cupid. She was just a face-up with some hair restyling for Valentine's Day. I think it still holds up. The Batsy Claro custom and Katrine Demuth customs were the first dolls on my channel to feel like original characters. I didn't name them like I do now, although they did eventually get names. This one's Nari, and this is Ruhara. Here's Neo and Frodo from the Kakao Talk Messenger app. This doll in her video I made specifically with my mom in mind. Because before I moved out, we enjoyed making dolls together. She was great at the clothes, and I would draw the faces, so to make my face-up approach easier for my mom to follow after I left, I made this video in greater detail than usual on her favorite doll, Cleo. Our next grouping has a lot of variety and experimentation. Here's the 2 simple face-ups I did on Rochelle and Kiyomi from Monster High's Haunted line. Rochelle is my no MSC matte varnish only repaint, and you can see she's holding up really well. Cupcake is a representation of all my favorite themes: sweets, pastels, and fluffy skirts. For as much as I talk about it though, I don't actually have that many sweets themed dolls. I've got Cupcake and Macaroon, and I think that's it. Freya is in the buff right now, and Freyr isn't here at all. I sent him and the clothes home with my mom because we're thinking about making patterns for these dolls too. I usually customize fashion dolls, and apparently these are cut above. Not quite a ball-jointed doll, but somewhere in between. I'm no expert, but they tell me a true ball-jointed doll is made from resin, not plastic, like these guys. But at any rate, Freya and Freyr were a new experience for me, and it was great. Cora is one of my favorite dolls that I've customized. You guys know how often I mess up and have problems with my projects, but when I made Cora, the stars aligned or something because I feel like I nailed it. She's my favorite face-up to date, and the body modifications were really fun, and her bright colors always make me happy, so yeah, I love this doll and I'm still really proud of her. Thea Thriftford, my budget customizing example doll. Some of you wondered if the acrylic alone with no sealant was okay, and yes, acrylic paint is basically plastic after it dries, and will stick to the vinyl head forever. I mean, don't scratch at it or dunk her underwater or anything, but you wouldn't do that to an MSC face-up either, you know? These are all art dolls, not considered for play, so yeah, acrylics by themselves are fine. These 2 dolls are my Korean dolls, and I recorded their videos in Korean. I can't even watch Mimi's video anymore because my very limited Korean vocabulary is like a cringe fest. I mean, my voice is already kind of annoying, but add nervous, high-pitched Korean on top of that and oh gosh, no. I'd learned more of the language by the time I customized this cherry doll, and I'd love to do another Korean video sometime. 지난번보다 한국어를 실력이 늘어서 한국어로 동영상을 다시 만들어 보고 싶어요. 더 잘할 수 있겠죠? 솔직히 더 자주 하고 싶은데 대부분의 구독자는 영어권 사람이거든요. Here's all the Halloween dolls. We've already looked at the Witch and Black Cat, so here's the Wendigo and Banshee. The Wendigo seems to be a fan favorite, and you guys nicknamed her Wendy-chan, which I find hilarious and adorable. Can we make Wendy-chan canon? For some reason, all my Halloween dolls have a tough time balancing on doll stands, Wendy Chan is so top-heavy, and the Banshee's dress is so huge that neither of them want to stand up straight. I usually have to twist-tie them to special stands when I'm filming the Halloween skits. Wondering where the demon is? Well, the kitten shimmied up the Christmas tree, got tangled in the lights, and pulled everything down. The lights caught the demon's leg, and down she fell off of the top shelf. She got decapitated, and I haven't found the time to fix her yet. The neck cracked apart, so I'll probably fix it with a little armature wire and epoxy, the usual. It is pretty sad to see her this way, though. Christmas dolls, of which there are only 2. Our Christmas angel Tree Topper and Yulia the Christmas reindeer. Next up are Stockbox dolls. These are all the customs we've created so far from the Stockbox series. There's such a wide range of characters and emotions associated with this series. My struggle with Nova has become somewhat infamous on this channel, and I'm still angry at myself for losing Iggy's footage. But I'm also very proud of these dolls. Nothing feels better than taking a scrapper doll or a forgotten toy and turning it into a unique piece of art with a new personality. Because the Stockbox dolls are so varied, they overlap with other categories. For example, I've made 3 steampunk dolls now: Charlotte Copperchain, Titanium, and Irene Oxide. My Decora duo. Ayako and Juwon are also 2 of my favorites. Like I mentioned at the start, I like to rotate the dolls around because you can get tired of looking at the same thing, so it's good to switch up the displays. But I find that I never want to box Ayako or Juwon. Tatsuo also fits into this group because he and Juwon are a couple, of course, but also I think all 3 of them could be categorized under Japanese street fashion. Also, here's my pastel girl Shoppy's custom. She's kind of Decora Fairy K-ish, and I don't know where else to put her. There's also a couple dolls that have been gifted away, such as the aforementioned Charlotte Copperchain, my brother-in-law's doll, Hua Mulan, and Litten. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. Speaking of Pokemon, here's all the Eeveelution dolls. I've arranged them in the order they were made. Not much more to say that I haven't already covered in my Eeveelutions overview video, but I do love how they form a rainbow of colors, characters, and cultures. Many of you have told me that you miss participating on the concept art stage when I design the dolls, so I'll try to start doing that more often again. One thing I want to point out is that the epoxy gems I made for Glaceon have yellowed over time, which is pretty unfortunate. I thought I was so clever using epoxy to make crystals, but it turns out that's not the ideal medium. Xerneas is so huge that I've displayed her by hanging her from the ceiling. I like to think of her as guardian of the Dollightful workshop. You'll forgive me for not getting her down, she's kind of difficult to relocate. She can look a little intimidating at night though. Lastly, I wanted to show you the dolls I own that are made by other artists, which I have either purchased or received as gifts. This is a bisque doll from dive.hara, an artist I love on Instagram, and I actually got to meet her at the COEX Mall Toy Fair last year, because she's a Korean artist. I'm honored to have met her and bought one of her porcelain dolls in person. The Shoppy's doll and Justine Dancer dolls were both stunning face-ups I purchased from Color. Charlotte the Cake Shop Lolita doll was gifted to me from Moonlight Jewel as a part of the Lolita swap hosted by Retro Dolls US. Jolteon was created and gifted to me as a surprise from my Instagram and YouTube friend, Kozomolski Dolls. I hesitated showing this doll on social media for the longest time because she did such a beautiful job creating my female Jolteon concept art into a doll that I didn't want people to get the wrong idea that I was continuing my Eeveelution series. On that note though, if Nintendo ever releases any new official Eevee evolutions, I will be making another doll. Hextian's character Lilith was technically made by my hands, but she was designed by Christian, so I think she fits in this group. I wasn't satisfied with her hair at the time, and it's only gotten more messy. I think Christian said it somewhere, but we both finished each other's dolls and were reluctant to send them to each other because neither of us were satisfied with the end product. I really should cut off the hair and try again. Lastly, Violet from Mia's Daydream. It breaks my heart that her eyelashes got knocked out of place. She's a big doll, so she wouldn't fit into my plexiglass display, so I had her out of my cabinet for a while and, You know where this is going. The cats eventually knocked her off while I was away. I really need to fix her because I love this doll. I could use more display cases too. This one's a joke, but the very last Dollightful doll I want to show you is the unsung hero of doll customizing. Meet Manny the Mannequin, who's secretly been in nearly every video since the start. I use her as a blank body to sew clothes on, of course. Maybe someday, when I get through all the dolls in my stock box, she'll be the last one I customize. I thought a doll tour was fitting for an end-of-the-year video. We get to look back and reflect on all the projects we've made, and it's a nice way to end 2018. Believe it or not, we're about to surpass 100 videos on the channel. Can you believe that? I mean, they're not all doll customs, there's some questionable unboxing videos in there, but hey, 100 videos! It's been a wonderful year for the channel, and I want to say thank you so much for watching and commenting and giving your thoughts on the dolls and videos, because without an audience, I'd just be a crazy cat lady who plays with dolls all day. Just kidding. I was going to say, without you guys, having a YouTube channel wouldn't be possible, and it truly means the world to me that so many people out there also enjoy doll customizing, crafting, and listening to my dorky voice. I know you hear a lot of these kinds of speeches from YouTubers when they reach certain milestones, as they call them. But that's because it's true, and what more can I say besides thank you so much for watching? I promise to try even harder next year to make enjoyable and entertaining videos because I want to do my best. I want to become a better artist, a better YouTuber, and a better person for you. So, happy holidays, have a wonderful new year, thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay artsy! Annyeong!
Wow. Good boy.